Hello there and welcome to another exciting edition of your favorite all-women talk show, Sister Sister. My name is Jessica. Thank you so much for joining us. So today is going to be pretty exciting. As usual, we're going to be going through a couple of messages because people seem to have so many and it's hard for us to keep up, but we know that we must oblige, and so we will do that. I want to give a special thank you and a shout out to our sponsors who make Sister Sister possible every single week, talking about Vodafone Together We Can, Lux for soft fragrant skin, and Kel Kids toothpaste, Happy Smiles. We'll go for a quick break. When we return, I'll tell you how you can be part of the conversation. We get to meet our sisters and we jump right in to the discussions for today. And you're welcome back. Sister Sister is live on City TV, City FM, and live across Sub-Saharan Africa on DSTV channel 363 and GoTV channel 182. Thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to our audiences all across Africa as well. Now, there are various ways that you can reach us, be a part of this conversation, because, you know, the show is interactive. You can send a WhatsApp to 054-998-6996, prefix it with +233 if you're messaging us from outside Ghana. You can also send an email to jessica@cityfmonline.com, or quickly find us on Facebook at Sister Sister Live, Live, Sister Sister Live. Like our page and join our growing community. That's how you can be part of today's show. For now, though, let's say hello to my sisters in studio. And I have Ceci to my right and Rosina to my left. Welcome, ladies. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, as always.
Yeah. What's going on with you? Like, you're looking very...
I'm just feeling myself.
I could tell. You look well.
Yeah, thank you.
What's new? What's special?
My month is, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Birthday is almost upon us.
Yeah.
Can't wait, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, the big day. It's creeping in slowly.
Yeah.
I get anxious sometimes, I get excited sometimes, but all in all, it's good.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
Good. Good to hear. What about you? What's exciting you these days?
Nothing.
Nothing?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't look it up.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised because of the conversation we're having before this show started. Right?
I take it seriously.
I'm trying not to.
Oh, nothing really exciting in that regard. But, I mean, we're taking it one day at a time. Yeah.
One day at a time works. Definitely works. Claudia is joining us. She's wearing pink today. What's going on, Claudia?
It's my birthday weekend, so I'm
hello.
Yeah.
Hello. How did your birthday go?
It's going well. So we had lunch yesterday, and I'm having dinner with a different group this evening. Yeah, so I try to divide them into groups so that I can enjoy more. You know, you bring them all together, and then it's just one event. So I group them into categories: Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Love it.
So then I have the dinner this evening. Yeah.
Super stuff. So when is the Sister Sister virtual dinner and party?
We'll talk in chambers.
Because we won't be left out. So don't think that you're in Berlin. So yeah, we have to have everybody will be in their houses and we'll just be eating and talking. It works. Technology. Thank you. All right. Anyway, Claudia, really good to see you, and happy birthday again. We will, just jump right into our messages for today. So the first one's coming in from a 30-year-old graduate and a NABCO personnel. So it says, I have been dating this lady for about 3 years. I made my intentions clear to her after about 4 months into our relationship that I will marry her when things begin to add up for me. I've been faithful, and she's rest assured of that. I give her money and buy her gifts anytime I have the means. This lady is a trained teacher and had her postings earlier this year and is now working as a permanent teacher. My worry is that this girl has never bought or gifted me anything, be it in cash, be it an item, in all the 3 years of our relationship. Even though she's sometimes aware of my delayed stipends, she still feels reluctant to offer help. I have once asked her, as a test, what will she bring me when she returns from post? She gave no answer, and unsurprisingly, the gift did not come. I was not bothered because, well, I wasn't expecting anything. Now, my questions are, 1, should I discuss that with her? 2, should I take it as stinginess and just let it be? 3, can I consider that as lack of love? Or 4, what do you also think about it? I need your opinions because this really bothers me. And that's from our first texter or, viewer. All right. So who wants to go first? Ceci, you want to jump in on this one? Dating someone who just never gives back. It seems to be a normal thing for women not to, it's always like men giving, and women just taking without giving back. I could be wrong. Let's hear your thoughts.
You just started my argument for me. So yeah, we live in a world where it is normal for a woman to be taken and not be given back. I mean, it's changing gradually, but it's always one-sided when it comes to things like that. But there are women nowadays that are gifting their guys, like Charlie, some of the things, pressure, but hey, the little that you have, you also give. I think giving is an act of love. No two ways about that. It's an act of love. So if she's not giving it, then there is a red flag there. It's been 3 years and she is a permanent teacher, which means she's getting, I don't know how regular her income is, but once she's permanent, then that means there is a structure to her salary. But for NABCO, the least said the better. So you're like semi-employed, sort of. But I mean, you gift her when you have the means. So this is what I think. It's either she's not so into you like you are into her, or it is just her upbringing. Probably she doesn't deem it necessary to gift you because she feels like, okay, yeah, I'm the woman and then you give me. I'm really under no obligation to give you. But the first question was, what should I discuss?
Yes.
Definitely you should. Because I don't think you should jump into conclusion because there are so many explanations to this. For me, right from the onset, I think that is bad. I would think that it's bad because it's been 3 years. This guy has been giving you gifts. So don't you even see, even if you weren't brought up that way, don't you see what he's doing? And I mean, for you to reciprocate, because there are certain things they are not supposed to tell you. Some of the things, you just look at what your partner is doing, then you give the person the same energy. But if for 3 years you still haven't seen it, yeah, I can jump into conclusion, but I think you should still discuss it with her. Right. Everybody has their love language. Maybe for you, if the person gives you stuff, then you know that the person loves you. But I don't think that should be the absolute yardstick for measuring whether somebody loves you or not. Probably she compliments or she makes up for it in other areas where you have not mentioned. I don't know what else she does for you, but it looks as though you place a lot of premium on gift sharing.
Right.
So by all means, please have this discussion with her so that it doesn't look as though maybe sometime down the line you zoned out and then you didn't really discuss it and maybe it was for another reason. Well, I really, for the life of me, I wish I could give a tangible explanation as to why she doesn't give you anything. I'm trying to justify it, but however, I'm in an untenable situation right now. So talk to her. Please, what's the second question? Indulge me, please.
Yeah, says, should I take it as stinginess and just let it be?
No, don't assume.
All right.
Don't jump into conclusion. Please, third question.
Next question, can I consider it as lack of love?
That is, if that is your love language, then you can consider it as lack of love. Because if someone doesn't gift you, then you consider it that, oh, the person doesn't love me, that's why she doesn't gift me.
Right.
So, well, maybe you could, depending. That's it.
Fourth question you've pretty much answered, just your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think Ceci is pretty spot on this because love goes hand in hand with giving. You can't say you love somebody and yet you cannot give to the person. So giving is really important, especially in a relationship, because you need to be sure that whoever you're with, you can complement each other back and forth. Nothing should be one directional. Now that being said, the lady, does she go on trek and come back? It's like she goes and comes back. Like, what is it? Because she says that when she comes back from trek or something.
Yeah, I think maybe they're in different. It sounds like maybe they're not in the same space.
It's in the same space.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want to find out where the woman's money is going. Sorry. So maybe they're not in the same space. She's probably renting houses where she is. She's probably having to, take care of responsibility fully, as opposed to if she was down here with you and all of that. Now, that being said, you see, when you love somebody, it's not even intentional to buy the person a gift. You're in a space, you see something that reminds you of your boo somewhere, like, oh, it looks so good.
Exactly.
And gifts should not be expensive. There's nowhere it's written that a gift should be very expensive.
The thought.
Somebody can bring you alewa, you're like, Charlie, this reminds me when I was young. And you are so on and on about the alewa. And, nobody understands why you are crazy about alewa. But it hits you differently. So I think that, the question, should it be discussed? I think it should be discussed. Not only just everything should be discussed, because you see, when you don't discuss things in relationships, sometimes it fosters into something more serious than it should really be. Now, secondly, I want to find out, when the woman comes down, does she do things like cooking for him, getting food ready for him and stuff like that? Some women feel that is their act of giving. Because if they cook for you, they wash for you, they do things for you, they feel like they're giving of themselves. So they don't see why they should add on another physical gift, because they feel like they're giving off what they have for you. So evaluate the whole situation. Like Ceci said, you don't know what kind of relationship they have or what, evaluate the whole thing. If there's room to see that she also gives off what she can give to you and feels that is a special thing she's doing for you, then you shouldn't place too much emphasis on the physical gift, but by all means discuss it. Does it mean she's stingy? It's a yes or no for me. Because you see, if you can't freely give off, you see, money comes and money goes. You see, no matter how much you want to keep the money, Charlie, something happens, you have to spend it. So my question is, look, if she's not able to spend her money on you, it's two things. Either she's stingy or she doesn't think you are worth it. One of the two. Either she's really stingy or she doesn't think you are worth it, or she feels that she's investing for your future, because you yourself, the job you have is not really a job. So she probably feels like, okay, what you're giving her and what she's getting, she would rather do some form of investment so that in future, when you guys are now together, you guys can, have a solid financial base. That is being extremely thoughtful. But then again, it should be discussed between both of you.
Yeah, the discussion.
Yeah, so the discussion is very important. The stinginess, it's neither here or there. But I think it's more towards being stingy than not being stingy.
Madam Armstrong.
And then the third one says,
should he consider it as lack of love?
On the face of it, yes. But I think that you need to discuss it to see where she's coming from, because one thing I tell myself is never judge anyone without a trial. It's something I always stand by. So before you make judgment on somebody, at least speak about it. Right. So that at least you know that you have your facts right.
Completely agree. Claudia, do you hold any different opinion?
They've said it all. But fundamentally, it's the upbringing. Because, growing up, I never heard, and I think I have to speak to you, say, Bema the old donor was so ocean, Omaniska. It's about, you have to make sure he's well fed, he's cleaned up, the house is in order, you bear children, you take care of the children, make him feel like he's the champion, like make him feel good. We are told to rub their ego, make them feel good at home, not to give them money. So I'm sure she's thinking, I'm not the one supposed to be giving him money. And I suspect when she comes for the weekend, she cooks and cleans. From the way he's talking, it looks like a very traditional relationship where he is the gift giver, the money giver. And that's how men try to woo women. So they meet you, they want to spoil you and bring you to the other side. And once you have me on the other side, now you want me to do something that you never expected of me from day one. So it's communication. Tell her that, okay, my salary is not so good. and I suspect you know this already, and I would appreciate some support. And then at that point, she would also tell you, okay, A, B, C, D, E are my responsibilities. So although I'm a permanent teacher, maybe I'm the one taking care of my brother's school fees or my mother's rent. I also have things I have to do, so I can chip in. But I wouldn't jump to the conclusion that she's stingy, primarily because of how we are raised and the responsibilities that we are coached to do as women. I suspect that is her thinking, that he has to give me money. In exchange, I have to take care of him. So if he wants a change in the dynamics of their relationship, which they've been doing from day one, which he has chosen not to communicate about, which probably she's there thinking she's the best girlfriend in the world. So he has to tell her communication and not to make any assumptions, because we are all raised differently. And even sometimes when women are buying gifts for men, they don't even consider the price. It's more of like an endearment. I feel he'll like it and I'll buy it for him. So he shouldn't even be looking at this from the financial perspective. It's about her willingness to give and her understanding of her role, that as a girlfriend, I have to give my boyfriend a gift, because some people don't even get that concept. And it shouldn't be used against them, because that is how they've been brought up. And so I'm also thinking that now that he's expecting her to be giving financial gifts, he should also recalibrate his understanding of care and love. So if now I'm supposed to chip in financially, Masa, when I come, you should also cook for me. Breakfast in bed. It goes both ways. We must both readjust our understanding of the relationship. I don't want to come to your house and clean and scrub your bathroom. Do it yourself, because now I'm also doing another responsibility in the relationship. Yeah. So if he wants the dynamics to change, he should check himself and also be ready for change. It's a negotiation. Madam, this is my love language. I want us to change the way we've been doing things traditionally. I don't want to assume you are stingy. Maybe you have responsibilities. But even on top of your responsibilities, I still need help because my salary is not stable. But once you start expecting that from her, you should also adjust. When she comes, you'll be lounging in bed and be doing mirror. Things have to change. So it goes both ways. But you shouldn't make any assumptions. You shouldn't make any assumptions. It takes two to tango.
Yeah.
You shouldn't make any assumptions at all. Have an honest conversation where you are expressing your needs and feelings and making room for her to also express her needs and feelings and her expectations of what she expects her future husband or boyfriend to be. If she can't do that for you, then there's no point being together, because the two of you are then incompatible. You are not what she wants. She's not what you want. So it's a conversation for the two of you to have, for you to express what your ideal person is, and the compromises that the two of you are ready to make for the relationship to work. Yeah. So it's nothing is set. He just he needs to talk to the girl and also allow the girl to say what she wants, because sometimes women are not forthcoming. It's like we are always performing for the male gaze. We want to seem desirable. We want to seem like the wife material. So even in the communication, it has to be very strategic so that the girl doesn't feel obliged to paint a picture of herself that is not. He has to find ways to elicit the right information from her, that she's that kind of partner or wife who sees financial gifting and financial money also as a responsibility, and shouldn't be seen as he's not man enough or he's not responsible enough, because some also see the men as breadwinners. So if you can't take care of me, then I don't think you're ideal. But that doesn't mean she's a bad woman. That is what she sees. Those are her needs. Those are her preferences. So it goes two ways. They both have to talk honestly so that they can communicate what they want and what actually makes them happy.
Yeah, I mean, don't you guys think we need to really change the narrative when it comes to those things? Like, especially like you've all said, the way we've been brought up as women to always receive. If a man doesn't give, it means he doesn't love me, kind of thing. Like, we should probably start having those conversations. But I also think
conversations, but then they tell us we are trying to destroy people's marriages because it's not traditional. Why are
I mean, there are those people who will kick against it. Yeah, there are those who will kick against it. I do also think, and I think Rosina, you mentioned it, this whole love language thing comes into play, you know, greatly here, because people just have different ways that they communicate love. For some people, it's giving. For others people, it's service. So depending on, you know, and there are different types. So depending on which one you fall under, you could actually live your life truly believing that your partner doesn't care about you because they're not expressing love the way you expect it.
The way you perceive it.
Exactly. So you need to, you guys really need to have a chat. That conversation has to happen. And let her understand the way you understand love.
Yeah.
Okay? If going forward she doesn't change her ways or sort of accommodate you or compromise, then that's a whole different conversation that you can have. But let her understand how you understand love, and I think you're halfway there. Okay, so good luck. We've got a couple of messages. Derek says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Genuine love comes with giving. I have been there before. I dated a lady for over 6 years, but I can't even boast of a pen she ever bought me. I want to say pin. That's what women say, right? Says, bro, if you don't walk out of that relationship as soon as she gets a guy who has more money, I assure you she will dump you. She doesn't love you. Na says, please take your eye off her salary, okay? From the way you narrated your story, I can boldly deduce that you want her to be sorting you out small, Abby. Please, if you're not financially sound, limit the things you do for her so you don't run out of cash, okay? Let me add this. When Eve was created, Adam had a big garden and dominion over all therein.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey, is it what we're talking about? Is the mindset and the toxic mindset that we have?
Charlie. No, Charlie.
Hold on. Adam had a big garden. So what does that translate into?
I have no idea. So I can't make that connection.
Okay, so you get a wife, that's everything woman
everything. So everything's set.
So you just plan the woman like an object.
Yes.
So we that we don't want to plan like an object too.
That's why it's a problem.
Okay.
Ruth says some ladies are not that good in giving. Same goes to guys, but that doesn't mean she doesn't love you. That's one of the imperfections of humans. Don't assume she works so she has money. It takes a whole year for newly trained teachers to actually receive their pay. Talk to her about your fears. Kofi says she's under no obligation to give you anything. Work hard, earn your money, and enjoy it. Okay, her money is not for you. Victor says, you need to be very cautious here. Relationship, be it friendship or marriage, is not a one-way thing. From your words, it's very clear that you don't depend on her for anything, but you need to know love is sharing and sharing is love. If this lady cannot gift you an ordinary sweet in 3 years, be rest assured that if you marry her one day, if there's no salt in the house for her to cook, she will have to wait for you until you return home. Be careful, because this might be a sign that she might starve you of sex as well when you eventually marry her. I don't know how we got there, but fast forward. Benny says, talk to her about it, because in marriage there'll be ups and downs in which a partner has to help, and this is the stage that she has to learn to give. So if she's not doing it, then for me it's a red flag. And finally, Delali says, you are on life support relationship, my brother. LOL. We'll go for a quick break. We'll be right back. And you're welcome back to Sister on 97.3 City FM and City TV. Remember our WhatsApp number, 054-998-6996. Okay, let's go into our next message. Says, good evening, sisters. I want to know if, as a lady, it's important to know your boyfriend's password on his phone. I'm 28. He's 31. We've been dating for almost a year now and are planning to get hitched next year. He does his best to prove that I love him, and I love him too, but there's an issue. Okay, I've noticed that he has been cheating with several ladies and tells them that he loves them. When I confronted him, he said that they were just messages and he could swear that he hasn't cheated on me before. I let it slide, but just last week I saw those kinds of messages again. He keeps changing his password often as well. When I asked him why he keeps changing his password, he gave no reason. He went on to say that I'm worrying myself for nothing and that I'm the one he wants no matter what, that I should stop worrying myself. He admitted that it's a bad habit and he's trying to curb it, so I should bear with him. So my question is, should I stop checking his phone? Because I don't want to lose him. People say, I don't know what you think, see.
Let's go.
The problem is you are dating, you're not married yet. The moment you feel the need to always be checking your partner's phone, the moment that feeling is there, like there's a need to always be checking, then there's a problem. Because, I mean, my whole life with my husband, I've checked his phone like no more than twice. And the time I've checked, I've seen what I was looking for. You understand? All I'm saying is that, and there is really no need to check your partner's phone. Once there's a need to feel like you're always checking, then there's a problem. That has to be addressed. And if you are dating and there's no issue, I mean, really, I don't think you want to put yourself through the heartache. Now, he's a chronic cheat. He's not going to stop because he wants you. Yes, it's possible that he's speaking the truth when he says that you are the one he wants and you're the one he's going to settle with. It may be possible. It may be true. He may end up marrying you, settling with you, giving you the ring and everything. But it's not going to stop his cheating habits. That's something he's used to. And I'm thinking that your partner, once you see certain messages that involve like love messages going back and forth between him and several ladies, a man who respects you would immediately put an end to it, even if he thought he was just flirting or he thought he was just being cool. If he values you and values the kind of person you are to him, he should stop immediately. Then that's a sign that, or maybe he's trying to put an end to whatever it is that he's doing, and you could probably give it some time and all of that. Lastly, I have a problem with people, unless of course you work with CIA or some FBI or some Central Intelligence, something. Why the need to always clear your messages? Change your passwords every month. Why? What? No, hold on. What job do you do? What black ops. Yeah, like what is your job description? I mean, if it's a social phone, just because you want to keep in touch, and you know, these things about passwords and things, sometimes, of course, boyfriend and girlfriend, there is no must that you should exchange passwords and all that, but sometimes the password is to ward off unwanted people into your phone, not really that person into your phone. There could be emergencies that would require the person having access to your phone. You know, so sometimes, I don't know, this whole password issue, I know that yes, it's your password, it's, you know, it's your thing, but the essence is not to keep it away from your wife or from your husband, it's to keep it away from thefts or third parties and everything. But the need to always change his password means that he wants to make sure that even if you found out this one right now, within the next week, you know, it's changed, so you can't even see anything. Why? For me, that activity in itself is very shady for me.
Sure.
And if you were my sister, I would tell you that you should evaluate this kind of relationship, because I can see a lot of heartache and pain ahead. Because even relationships that you're comfortable that, oh, there was nobody in the arena, the guy was very, Charlie, that one cry, you are up for surprises when you actually settle in. So with this one that from day one, you are seeing messages and he's changing his password frequently and he's making light of what you are seeing. As no, they are just chats. I mean, things start from somewhere. I mean, anybody who has dated anybody, it started from some form of, oh, hello, hi, communication, some form of, oh, you look nice, so then it evolves into something else. So don't make light of that conversation. It's not just a conversation. It's something that can lead to something more serious. So if he's not ready to curb it in the bud right now, I think that it's not something you should even look at taking into your...
next level.
I mean, taking to the next level, as in getting married. I mean, because once you get married, like I said, you get married, a lot of things change. Families now, look, if you want to work out, cry, the family say, no, don't go. Then even if they say go, cry now, you have to now pay there. Plenty to get through the divorce proceedings.
Sure.
So you should be very cautious when you're entering. And sometimes when you're very cautious when you're entering, when these things are happening, at least you know within your heart that you didn't see it coming.
Right.
But when you've seen all these things and then you enter and then they are amplified, it's like, but I've always been like this, so why are you now complaining?
Right.
You know, that's when the mental issues come in and the depression sets in and all of those things set in. So I think that these are serious red flags, and then his reaction is even redder than a red flag. So I think that you should really evaluate the relationship. If I were you, I would now, before it gets too late.
Because she wants to know if she should stop checking his phone.
No, you see, it's
not. She doesn't want to lose.
She can't stop.
No, the stop checking your phone there. See, even if I tell you to stop, you can't stop. Because in your head, you know he's up to something. And you cannot lose him. Why can't you lose him? You see, why can't you lose him?
You've seen Kakai at the beginning like this.
You see, when you are at a certain stage, you can talk of I can't lose him, because maybe there are so many things at stake, i.e. children, maybe your finances, your this, your that, your that. But in cases where when you walk out, it's just you and your bag walking out.
Quick.
And in cases where this guy, I'm not sure whether he cannot walk out on you. I mean,
probably can.
He can easily work out on. He has so many options.
Because he's chatting with.
He's sampling. So my question is not about whether you should stop checking the phone. Because if we all say stop with a microphone, Charlie, you hear it, but your fingers, before you say Jack, you are checking. Then you are blocked. Then you now go and do undercover FBI things. You do mapping, coding and mapping and this thing. The last time he did something 13, no, now will be something 15, 16, then permutation. Then by the time you find out, no, you check, no,
new password.
The new password. So I think that you can't stop checking. The question is whether you should put yourself in a situation where you should even consider checking or not. That is my thing. So my thing is that, yes, I know you can't stop checking. You can't lose him. We've all felt like that about somebody at one point or the other. But when we moved ahead, we realized that it was better we moved after so many years. So you move on from somebody after so many years, you look back and like, hey, if I stayed there, I could have been terrible. Yeah, so I think that, yes, now the feeling that you can't lose him is normal. We've all felt it. We've all cried and, you know, my life is coming to an end and all that. But we've moved on and, you know, to better things. So, Charlie, yeah. All
right, Claudia, let me bring you in. What do you think?
For me, it's the way she asked if I should stop checking his phone. At least as if checking the phone is preventing him from doing the things that he's doing. The checking the phone act, you know, what problem is it solving? Because you see, I can relate to what she's doing because I'm a woman, and sometimes in a relationship where you suspect that your partner is cheating, momentarily you're like a mad woman. An FBI agent, a mad woman, investigating every nook and cranny is like you're trying to solve a puzzle. And until the puzzle is solved, you're not yourself. And so what she's doing now, it is not healthy. And the guy, from the language that she used to couch this text, is a classic manipulator. He's gaslighting her. So I've seen that you are talking to women. I've seen that you are cheating, but this person is telling you, these are friendly conversations. What can you do about it? You can't beat him. He's telling what you are seeing. He's trying to erase that thought from your mind. And at that point, he has prioritized that action in itself. Speaks to who is the priority in his life. Because you see, when you come into a man's life and he loves you, it's not that he's going to abandon all his loved ones and then you move to number one on the list. But the little acts that he does to safeguard your mental health sometimes tells you how this person feels about you. So he has decided that, you know what, I'm going to do the bare minimum to keep you around because I know you are not going anywhere. So he's doing just enough to keep you there. So he will change the password because he knows you are not going anywhere. He will tell you it's friendly conversations because he knows you will stay. And you will keep talking about the same thing, expecting different answers. When you know in your heart of hearts that his responses are not going to change, the behavior is not going to change. When he marries you, if you are lucky, and you emerge as number one among the current contestants, and you become the wife, that is going to be worse because now you have kids and now the reason to leave becomes more difficult. So if I were her, like Rosina said, I would tell you not to evaluate, but to actually ask yourself, what are you getting from this arrangement? Because we go to relationships for things that we need: companionship, a safe space, someone who has your back, someone who prioritizes your mental health, someone who respects you, someone who is not abandoning people, but you still know that you are number one, like he has your back. From the text that you sent, you are not getting any of these. So why are you still there? And that's a question that you have to be very honest and ask for yourself and answer yourself. And again, you are lucky. You are seeing all these red flags now. Some are not lucky enough. They see it after I do. And then they have to go through the process of divorce. You have been lucky to see all these red flags, but it's like you want to change the red flags to pink or to white to satisfy yourself that you can't change a cheat. He's a serial cheat who has mastered the act. He's a #1 gaslighter. Like, I'm seeing red. He's telling me, no, it's not red, it's white. You can't beat him. So at this point, you can't change the other person's actions. The only way is how you respond to that person's actions. So the ball is in your court. Do you want to be with a cheat? Do you want to change a cheat? And again, when women are in these kind of relationships, they are evaluating, if I lose this person, what is the quality of the alternatives out there? Maybe it's probably been with him so long, she's evaluating, oh, I'm now going to start all over again. But then this sunk cost fallacy can keep you in that arrangement for years and you wouldn't get any benefits. So she has to prioritize her interest and happiness now. This man is not going to change. You can't change him. And in situations that you can't change, 2 things. You either belittle yourself and settle. And at that point when you settle, you have no moral right to complain because you saw the red flags and you decided to stay. So at that point, it is management and response. You are firefighting. And then at some point, you'll be fighting side chicks. He changes his password, you'll be there, you'll be spying, you know, when he's entering his phone, you're spying.
You've done some before.
You become an FBI investigator on top of issues. And when you are doing these things, it affects your career. You're not able to function at work because once your work colleagues are strategizing and coming up with good initiatives and getting promoted, you are busy chasing a man to be faithful to you. When if you've given yourself the chance and maybe stay a year or 2, you'll be lucky. And someone who is willing to protect your peace will come along, and all these things that you are fighting for, you wouldn't even have to say it. He does it naturally. So why are you willing to put yourself through all this hassle? And sometimes you belittle this. By now, and she's spoken to all her friends. So whenever she meets her friend, it's the center of conversations. It's the #1 thing you talk about. It becomes the priority. And once this takes your peace, you can't do other things. So this relationship that is not building you up, that is not helping you, is stealing your joy and the ability to progress in other spheres of your life. I beg you, please leave him. You find someone else. And I won't even beat around the bush again.
That's all.
This is a toxic man. He's a toxic man. And unless he has the small experience where he meets Jesus in the middle of the street, goes blind and changes, he will not change. It will get worse after you have kids and you have the ring. Move on.
Ceci, you have the final word on this matter.
You have said everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Intentionally.
So let me just add another branch to it. In a relationship, no matter the level of the relationship, everybody is entitled to their privacy. Everybody. Unless you guys have come to the agreement that, okay, I can be all up in your business and you can be all up in my business. You can take my phone anytime and I can take your phone anytime. I think your phone, well, to me, is your personal space, and what you do over there is your business. But what you show your partner is really, really important. For her to have come to the extent of saying that I cannot lose him, it's obvious that the guy knows that you cannot lose him. So he's using it to his advantage and he's keeping you there and doing his nonsense. So he has realized that, she can't do without me. So he's doing the standard stuff to keep you there. It's all well and good that you have seen what he's doing. And the only question you could ask was, should I stop checking his phone?
Can you imagine?
I know, right?
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah, so that's the problem.
What?
I was going to say
if we say, okay, stop, then what? He stops it? Or we say continue, then he stops it? That is not the question. If the question you have asked,
I was expecting, does this man really love me? Should I continue?
But she wants to stop
this question that you are asking clearly shows that you, Krano, you don't know your left from your right. You don't know what you are doing there. Even if you come out of there, you wouldn't know what you are doing with your life, because you have placed him in the center of your life, and everything is surrounded. Like he in fact, everything is encompassed around him. Is the middle of your life, is your everything. And instead of being at work and like
I'm not thinking about the question over and over again.
Like Claudia rightly said, you are at work, instead of you like Charlie once, you know, she's that kind of person that when she gets to work, she cannot, you see, you should be able to separate your personal life, your emotions.
Thinking, hey, by this time,
no, she wants
he's doing this.
Yeah,
no,
so you should be able to
separate
your emotions, and you see, she should just I don't even know what to tell her again. Just try and separate your emotions from this situation and look at yourself. Are you being fair to yourself? Let's forget about him for a little bit. He's not being fair to you, that we all know. But are you being fair to yourself? Yeah. Because if you don't treat yourself right, no one else would.
Thank you.
I think you should.
So prioritize yourself, prioritize your happiness. You are not married though. You are in a relationship. You are courting or dating, whatever it is that you have. And already, you know, you are doing black ops. You are doing coding and permutations.
No, ideally, Charlie, nobody should be put into that space where you think you need to check.
At all. You see, you are talking about when she settled. You mentioned earlier that when she settles, and then now the mental and the depression, and it has already started. It has already started, because it's like her life is surrounded by those things, and you are constantly checking. See. Phone.
You even notice he changes his password frequently.
Yeah. Phone. Fine, the password is there to ward off people. But me, if you ask me for my password right now, if you are my partner, okay, and you want to do something on my phone, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. There was a time my husband he wanted to make a call, something of the sort. Then he opened. Then he wanted. It's like he wanted to go into my WhatsApp. So I was like, why do you have a WhatsApp password? Then I said, I have friends, sometimes maybe they are looking through pictures. Some people are tempted to go into your WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And I've had that happen a couple of times.
And
so I told them,
see private conversation that
yes. So you give, sometimes you are showing a picture to somebody, even pictures, the gallery. And
the person will
go through before you realize where the person has got to. Maybe we are in September. We are in September.
The person is in January.
We are in September. The person is in January. You checked your pictures. So I have a problem with that. So yeah, ward off all that. But if you want to do something on my phone, I give you the password. You do whatever you want to do.
I mean, I
don't have a problem with it.
He has mine, also have his,
for me,
but we don't check.
But even me, for me, we don't have. We don't have. But it's like it's not like we sat down to discuss, but it is it's a non-verbal agreement because I don't touch yours.
Okay.
So as you can see that I don't touch yours, please don't touch mine. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. So please, like Claudia said, me too. I'll add my voice. I beg you, leave him.
Right. So we'll wrap up this conversation because, Ali, I mean, you're saying your last statement you made was, "I don't want to lose him." We are here to announce that you will lose him. Yeah. It's just a matter of time.
One way or the other.
Okay.
You have lost him already.
Decide, and just proceed. I mean, it's entirely up to you. But that heartbreak is just down the line. It's already started.
It go reach
and if you continue to engage him and entertain him on that level, it's not going to stop. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, there's more. And you're welcome back to Sister Sister on City FM and City TV. We're loving your comments, so keep them coming through. 054-998-6996. Right, we'll go into our message. Another message here says, "Good evening, Jess. I have a problem and I need your help. My husband and I got married in September 2018. Things were okay till he accused me of stealing fresh chicken from his fridge somewhere in July last year. He claimed that I gave it to my friend, but I swear that I didn't have any idea about his accusation. He was really confused, or I was really confused, and thought he was joking until he told me to swear on the Bible to prove my innocence. I told him to rather bring 2 eggs since that would produce results faster. He got furious, threw me out of the house. Presently, he seized all my belongings. I reported the issue to Dovsu, but nothing has been done to resolve the issue yet. I want him to divorce me, but I don't know how to go about it. Help. Claudia, would you want to jump in on this one? I'll give everybody about 3 minutes to finish.
Why do you want him to divorce you? The question should be, how should I divorce him? Unless you still have skin in the game and you still want to marry him. Because looking at the text that you sent, he says you've taken chicken from his fridge, not our fridge.
Right.
So the 2 shall be one. You people are not one. He still sees himself as a single individual, and he has taken over your things. Is it that he thinks that he bought all these items for you, so they are his property? And this actually speaks to the vulnerability that women are exposed to in our society, because out here, you call the police and the man would have been walked out of the house. But this man has the audacity and the boldness to put you in harm's way. So I'm asking you, why don't you want to divorce him? Unless you are still in love and you still want to work on the marriage, then you can dig deeper and see what your husband is going through. Maybe he's having a psychological problem, or there's a bigger issue that is affecting him, and then maybe you treat his psychiatric issues and see if he can still work on the marriage from then. But this is someone who doesn't see you, unless you use the wrong language when you said his fridge, because for me that's very indicative of the men, how you see yourself together. And then he threw you out of his house, and then he has taken over your things. So I want to assume he thinks because he bought those things for you, they are practically his stuff. So then I'm calling into question your economic, the money that you have to be on your own after you leave in. So I would have told you to seek legal help, but do you even have the financial means to seek legal help? That's something that is worrying me, because he took over your house and the only thing you could do was to go to Doves. Where is your family? How is your family intervening? Who is going to this man and telling him to stop doing the nonsense that he's doing? Because you're someone's child. So it initiates that divorce proceedings. But then I don't know how your family is taking this, because for me, this is the first thing that I would do. My father wouldn't really allow you to take over my. So your story speaks to a larger crack, maybe in your family. He knows you have no one, and so then he's able to take advantage of you. And that's even more reason why to leave him. So the first step is to seek legal help and see what the lawyers have to say. Then you can take it from there. But it all depends on if you can even afford this legal help. And from then you can decide if your family or friends can do fundraising or something for you. But this is not a healthy space. And the question shouldn't be, I want him to divorce me. You should be able to divorce him. You have that agency. Exercise it.
But maybe if, as you said, economically she's not.
The money, yeah, she doesn't have the money. Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. All right. Ceci.
Me too. I'll start with the same question. Why don't you want to divorce him, but he should rather divorce you? Because I don't know. She says that I want him. Yeah. I want him to divorce me. So that means she wants a divorce, but she doesn't want to be the one to initiate it. Yeah. Why? Because it looks like he doesn't want to do it. He wants to keep you there, like I said before, and do his nonsense. Because he realizes that maybe you are vulnerable, you don't have anywhere to go. Because if your first point of call is Dovsu, then that brings into question, like, what's up? What is your family there for?
Yeah.
Okay, unless maybe your dad is not around or something. But then at least
maybe she's actually living with them, because remember he kicked her out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's kicked her out for about a year now.
1 year. Oh, that's too much. I think fine, unless you are looking to improve on the situation, which I think personally that there is more to this than meets the eye. I think he wants to get rid of you.
Sounds like.
And then he's using some formats. Because
fresh chicken.
Like where he sounds like he has reliable information, and I gave it to my friend. Like something does not add up. Yeah, so weird.
Does he have cameras in the house? Like, how is it?
Yeah, how he knows that I gave it to my friend. Or maybe, like, Charlie, I don't get it. It's weird and it doesn't make sense. So I think that he wants to use some other format to get rid of you rather than to face what exactly the issue is. So if you want to broach the subject, fine, why not? But then for him to have kicked you out, put you in harm's way, seized your stuff, that's a bit extreme. I think he wants to get rid of you, but it has nothing to do with frozen chicken, please.
Yeah, please. Rosina, you have the final word.
I'll say the same. It has nothing to do with frozen chicken. Charlie, you see, chicken, in a marriage, right? Ideally, traditionally, the kitchen is my space. Whether you bought the fridge or you bought the freezer or you bought the cooker, I'm just saying traditionally. I mean, how does he even know say some chicken is in the freezer that has gotten missing? And what effrontery to come and ask me where the chicken is? You ate it. No, seriously,
yeah,
I mean, as at now, I can't keep track of what exactly is in my freezer because I stockpile, right? So if he stood in front of me and said, my chicken in my freezer is missing,
Nonsense.
I'll just, and so it's food. That terminates into waste eventually. Seriously, I mean, your chicken in the freezer, and like I said, Lucy, the man has, maybe he's not able to get her to do anything. Look, let me be frank. It's possible that the man knew there was no chicken. The man created a chicken that got lost so that he could have something against her to do what he wanted to do. Because she's probably a type of woman that he can't really get something over her to kick her out of his life. So he needed to create something. And the woman who steals from the husband, or a thief who is like a wife who is a thief, quote unquote, is like a serious thing. So if you're going around and say, hey, my wife used to steal from the house, can you imagine? Even chicken, she stole the chicken. Then be like, why would this woman be stealing from you? Then she begins to look like a bad person. So he intentionally created that situation to stand on it, to kick her out, because he has ulterior motives. That's what I think. Now, even if you stole your chicken, the first point of contact is to either call a family meeting and tell the other side of the family, your daughter has done this and this and this and this. But to proceed to kick her out, that's a second big flag for me. Number 3, she's been out for almost a year. And you have seized her things. Like Claudia said, he feels the right to seize her things because he feels like maybe I acquired it for you or I bought it for you. Now you've survived without him for a year. It makes divorce proceedings very easy. I think the reason why I think the woman wants him to initiate the divorce is that, I'm sure like we are all saying, the woman thinks there's more to it than the chicken. He wants to see the reasons that he is going to state in the divorce, the reason for, because when you want to get divorced, that's a reason.
A petition.
So what reason is he going to put in there? I'm sure she wants some form of closure. Right. And that's why she wants him to file for divorce so that she can see whatever reasons the man put there, because it beats her imagination, that missing chicken. Because to tell me to swear that I've not taken chicken, koklo, 50 Ghana maximum. No, it's not even 50 Ghana. 50 Ghana maximum, fresh broiler, heavy. I mean, seriously. And for that reason, my dear, I think that you've stayed away for a man like this. I don't think you really need closure from him. After staying away from 1 year, you have enough, you've separated enough, you go for your divorce. I mean, there are lawyers there who would, help you out. You don't have to pay so much. So just go and then just walk out.
Alrighty. Well, unfortunately, we're at the end. Time just flew past. But ladies, it's been good. Thank you so much for your time. And of course, to our sponsors as well. Vodafone, Together We Can. Lux for the soft, fragrant skin that you require. And Kale Kids Toothpaste. Happy Smiles. We'll be back same time next week.